ladies, welcome back to another video. We're doing another art journaling spread today. I think later on this week I'm going to try to get together some junk journal videos for you. I know that I have not been working on junk journal videos because quite frankly I haven't been working on junk journals. Junk journals require a little bit of time and you have to keep going back to it day after day. Well, I don't know if it's my thyroid or what, but my attention is not that long. So I've been having to do small projects here and there just because my ability to pay attention to something is like nothing. I've been doing cleaning where I like just explode a whole room and then put it back together because I can't focus on one task at a time. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. All right, so today we're going to do a junk journal or an art journal spread. And then, like I said, I will try my very hardest to get a junk journal video put together for the week. So I thought, again, I'd try to chat with you. My family is in the background again, but hopefully they're not too loud. So we're going to pick out our mediums or media, whatever you want to call it. And this is where we're going to start. I think I'm going to do 2 because again, I can't really focus lately, so I'm really trying to just let my brain kind of do what it wants to do. Like if I want to do something detailed, I'll do it. My husband's making the dogs bark. If I want to do something detailed, I'll do it, but for the most part, I haven't been doing anything like super detail oriented either. Again, my attention is just not there. I can't pay attention. So we are working with gemstones and gesso. I kind of didn't want to get gesso out. I'm not doing gesso. Again, don't have the ability to like get everything out and pay attention to what I'm doing. So we're going to pick something else. Markers. I love markers. And I have to show you guys the new markers that I got. Oh, he's going to have to stop making the dogs bark or I'm going to have to cut all this out. All right, we're doing markers and gemstones. I can handle that. That is within my ability to handle right this minute. Let me get the gemstones and the markers out. What color are we doing? Are we doing a color themed? A color themed? Obviously I can't talk today either. What color theme are we doing? I'm looking at my drawers to see which one's most... What is wrong with my mouse? Mouth. Most full. It's orange and yellow. So instead of trying to pick out what I want to do, just by random, I'm just going to pick which one I have the most of. It appears to me that I have the most orange. Yes, I have the most orange. So let's save that yellow for another one. That's kind of orange. That's orange. That Cinderella card's orange. That's pretty cool. I always like frames. And we already have flowers. What does this say? Today. Do that. It's orange. Dun, 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 dun. Is this orange? Did I put that? I put that in orange. That looks like it might try to be red. Like it's in disguise or something. That's trying to be red. What is that? Who says that? So as I'm going through these, we can chat. What have you guys been up to this week? I had to sit down and do a junk journal or an art journal spread because I'm so like irritated with mean people. I don't know. It just seems like every time I turn around, somebody's being nasty, and there's just no reason to be nasty. And I try really hard not to drag that over to like the business side, like chaotic mom. But Eileen is very aggravated with mean people. And Eileen knows what it's like to be very vulnerable And so I take it very personally when people are just randomly, like, just straight out being mean and randomly attacking people. So I tend to speak up. So my husband came in the house and we started chatting. So I'm really sorry. I'm going to do a voiceover for the rest of the video. It was a Sunday when I made this video, and he was home, and I'm really grateful to have him home anytime he can be home, because he works so hard and so much that I wasn't going to tell him to be quiet because I was doing a video, or I wasn't going to try to talk to you guys with him in the area and making him be quiet. So that's why I'm doing a voiceover. So anyway, I was chatting with you guys about mean people suck. I mean, that's just like a way to encompass everything that I'm talking about. So it was one particular thing that happened today, and it irritated me. It didn't hurt my feelings. It irritated me. And I'll explain to you why it's so irritating. So as many of you know, I have suffered with severe depression. I'm currently on medication and in therapy, and I feel so much better. And I'm learning to manage the depression and realize that it's not being ungrateful. It's not being thankful. It's not being, like you don't like your family. That's not what depression is. And I've said this time and time again. Depression is feeling like you're not enough. Feeling like you are the failure to everybody around you and that you're a burden. So depression is not being not grateful for what you have. And I know that I've experienced people in my life that have suffered from depression, and people have said to them, oh, well, try to think about things that you can be grateful for. I understand that it's great to be grateful every day, and it does help, but that's not what depression is. Depression isn't just not being grateful for what you have around you. It's about, I am so lucky to have everything around me. However, I don't feel like I deserve this, and I'm just a great burden on everybody, and I'm just going to take myself out of the equation. And that's why you have people that end their life, because they feel like they're doing a favor to them around that, or to those around them, by not having to put up with them. That is absolutely ridiculous. I know. Speaking it, it's ridiculous to think that somebody would prefer you not be on this world. But that's what your brains are tricking you into thinking. So I say all that to say this. When random mean people going around saying how they feel, you are taking a chance of running into a severely depressed person who thinks that their life is not even worth it. They are a burden to everyone, that this is never going to get better, and the only choice they have is to take themselves out of the equation. Do you have any idea what one simple mean comment can do to somebody who is already spiraling? That's the problem. You don't know what's going on in other people's lives. You don't know their mental capacity. You could literally either be the person that breaks somebody to push them over the edge, or you could be the person that does something randomly kind for a stranger, and you could save that person. Because when you're in that depth of despair and you're struggling and you feel like your life is just not worth it, when somebody does a random act of kindness, you realize, oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm getting teary. You realize that there are good people left in the world, and that there is going to be happiness in your life. And so do the right thing. Go around spreading kindness, not mean and negativity. I really hope you guys don't think that I'm like preaching at you, because I'm not. I just want somebody to come across this video and think, what can I do today that could be helpful to someone? And if you have the attitude of, I just go around saying what I feel, you have to realize that because it makes you feel better to say how you feel does not mean that that's going to be taken with a grain of salt by the person that's receiving the comment. So what all sparked this was that I introduced my Chaotic Mom Scoops on my Etsy store. Now, I've put a lot of thought and a lot of planning and money into this idea. I saw on TikTok that these girls were doing with like gemstones and crystals. They're doing like confetti where they do these scoops and they have all this fun stuff in it other than gemstones and crystals. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'd love to do that for like junk journaling supplies and Happy Mail. But then I wanted to incorporate my larger items too into this kind of mystery grab bag idea. So that's where I came up with numbers to put into the scoops. And then the number corresponds with a journal or ephemera pieces or fabric or something along those lines. So I was so excited to do this. I spent, since Thursday afternoon, I've spent like almost every waking hour putting together this Chaotic Mom Scoops. And I've been putting it out on social media. I've been super excited. Hannah's been involved in it. It's just been a really fun thing for us to do because we can't find anybody else that does this. And so instead of being inspired by somebody, which I guess I am, I was inspired by some of these gemstone sellers and crystal sellers, but instead of being inspired by somebody to what to put in there, I did it myself. Like I totally thought of all of this random stuff to put in these scoops. And so my point is I'm super excited about it. And I posted on Instagram yesterday. And somebody very kindly said, wow, people will buy anything, won't they? That was totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. Because in that moment, I was super excited. And I'll tell you what I wrote in response. But the point is that in that moment, I'm in an okay headspace right now. And I'm really excited. And to tell you that comment didn't damper my brightness a little bit, I would be lying. It did. I was like, oh my God, maybe it is junk. Maybe it's just a whole bunch of junk. But it's supposed to be junk because it's junk journaling. So, I mean, yeah, it's junk. But it's junk that A, I spent money on. B, I spent my time putting all of this together. And when I say time, I mean the last week I've put together all of this. So that comment, yeah, it could have really affected me if I was not in a good headspace. And thank God that I am right now. Again, medication and therapy has been really, really helping me. But to anybody who hasn't got to that medication, because doctors are really hard to get into right now, people who haven't gotten into therapy, because therapists are really hard to get into right now, how horrible would that comment have sat with somebody who was already in a very low place? You have to stop. You have to stop and think, is what's coming out of my mouth helpful or could it possibly be hurtful? That comment in the least could never have been construed as helpful. Period. The end. There was nothing in that was helpful. It was mean. I don't know this person. And quite frankly, it's horrible. You don't do that. So in the response to that, I made a snide comment. I said, wow, you must be fun to craft with because that's who I am. I'm a smart mouth. That's what I do. That's how I clap back. That's how, instead of getting angry, that's how I kind of giggled about it. So in turn, she said, oh, that was a, offside comment or something like that. And she said, at least I say how I feel. Again, you cannot go around saying how you feel all the time because it makes you feel better. If you need to go home and look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself what you wanted to say all day to all these random people, go ahead and do that because you know it's affecting you. But when you open your mouth and you speak those words or you type them on a keyboard to another person, you're spreading hate, you're being mean, you're being nasty, and you're not being helpful. So I, in turn, wrote a response, and part of me was like, you can't post this, Eileen. You are a chaotic mom. But the other part of me went ahead with it. So I told her
that she needs to be kinder to people, that she doesn't know what people are going through, everything that I just said to you. And then I also said that I don't really care what she says to me because, frankly, I don't give a flying F about what she thinks of me. And maybe the next person is a little bit more vulnerable and in a worse spot that she might say something like that too. So let's remember to be kind. Well, Selena read that on my Instagram and she about flipped out. She said, "Mom, you can't say that word. You know, this is supposed to be a business." And I did. I thought about it. I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. I need to reread my response and see if it lines up with who Eileen is as a business chaotic mom. Guess what? It did line up. It does line up. And you know what? Going around and saying the F word or saying vulgar words, whatever, you're not hurting anybody. I don't do it out in public. I don't do it on my videos. Of course, this is not the place for that. However, the reason that my comment and my response did line up with my business is because I don't tolerate anybody being bullied. I don't tolerate anybody around me being bullied in such a way. Why would I tolerate it for myself? And again, it wasn't even to clap back at this person. Oh, I took that personally, which I kind of did. But it's to let her know that I'm okay right now. I'm doing good. But other people are not. And that's what I'm concerned about. I'm not going to allow a mean bully anywhere near my business and around my friends who are a part of this business. So, if anybody's on Instagram and anybody sees my comment to this random stranger, it was not meant with ill intent. It was meant to let this person know that I don't tolerate any kind of bullying. And that was flat out bullying because it was not helpful. It was not thoughtful. And it was not kind. And anything that's not helpful, thoughtful, or kind, and you still say it, bullying. So it's not tolerated. I will not tolerate it here. And if you think that I'm being nasty by responding, which I did get that comment back, well, you should, basically look at your own words. It does apply to you. And then she said, "Oh, but you think you're better than me." I don't think I'm better than anybody. And I do take those words back. And I told her I'm absolutely not better than you. And quite frankly, I didn't insult you. So that's where we stand as two different people. I'm going to say it again, and then I'm going to shut up about it because I know you guys are probably sick of me rambling. But you have to be kind when you deal with people out in public that you don't know what they're going through. If you have something to say that doesn't affect you and it's not kind, go home. Say it out loud as soon as you get in the living room, whatever you need to do. But if you have something to say that might be a little bit helpful, then you can go ahead and say it, as long as it's kind and somebody's not going to take it in a negative light. That's all. Do something nice for somebody. That's all I'm saying. Just a little kindness can go a long way. Whew, that was a mouthful. But you know what? It had to be said. And again, I'm not going to tolerate it on this page, on any of my social media, on any of it. If you have something nasty to say, I'm going to let you know it's nasty and stop. So maybe the right thing to do would have been just to ignore it and move on. I have a really hard time with that though, because if everybody just ignores the mean and nasty and moves on, it's never going to get drilled in to whoever's head is making the mean, nasty comments that it's not okay. And there's people in the world that are going to stand up to you and let you know it's not okay. And again, the reason that I'm standing up to people is not for my own personal benefit. It's to benefit the people around me that are more vulnerable than me right now. Because again, I've been there. I have been in such a dark place that somebody made a comment that should have just been taken and thought, oh, well, they're just angry at me right now, and that's why they said that. Let me tell you that I took that comment. This was probably, 6 or 7 years ago. Anyway, I took that comment and I internalized it, and I ended up in therapy for a very long time from that one comment. One comment destroyed me. And it was because I was already broken. I was already trying to Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I was already trying to climb out of a really deep, dark place, and one comment sent me over the edge. It has to stop. No more mean, nasty comments, especially here on Chaotic Mom. It's not going to be tolerated. I'm going to let you know it's nasty. I'm going to let you know it's mean, and then I'm going to let it go. But I'm letting you know it's mean and nasty, not for me, but for the people around me who I'm trying to protect. Okay, I feel much better getting that out now. You know, I'm saying what I feel. I'm just kidding. I'm saying what I feel because I'm trying to let you know that I'm going to protect anybody on this page that gets attacked. If anybody has anything mean to say to one another, let me know, because it's not going to be tolerated. I'm not okay with it, and it's just not necessary. And on that note, let's go over what we've done on this spread so far. So as I've chatted, I have taken out all of my small ephemera, all of my large ephemera that it coordinates with this orange theme that I'm doing. I went through my gems, I went through my scrap paper, went through my project life cards, post-it notes, things like that, and I'm just putting some things together that I think go well with each other. When I first started out, you saw me making little triangles, and the purpose of that is I have these water brush markers, and I've been working in my mixed media art book, and here's what happens when you use these watercolor markers on a watercolor paper or like a mixed media paper. What you can do is you can make those little triangles that I was making and then take a water brush and you can pull the color. If you use a water brush, you can pull the color out. And so then it looks like it goes from dark to light and you can create a petal shape. Okay, that doesn't work on composition notebook paper or whatever. This is not a composition notebook. This is a spiral notebook, but it doesn't work on this paper is my point. So I went through and made all those, triangles, and then I went back with my water brush and it would not pull the color out again. I guess with this paper being the way that it is, it locks in the color and holds the color. So even with a water brush, you can't re-pull up that color. So if you've ever worked with watercolors, you know that if you mess something up, you can just take water and go in there. You can even erase watercolor with water if you're gentle enough on paper, on watercolor paper. But with regular paper, it doesn't work. So that's something that I did that you can take note of so you don't have to experience it. Water brush markers only work on watercolor paper if you're trying to pull the color, by laying it down on the paper and then using a water brush. It does not work on regular paper, only watercolor paper and mixed media paper. So that's what I was doing with those and didn't really work out. I did the leaves, again, didn't really work out. It's fine though, because it was all background. Think of it as like a wallpaper for you to start your collage on. So I'm just taking all of these ephemera pieces. I made the little pocket in the bottom left corner there, and I put that project life card that says funny on it, and then I added some lined orange paper to that, and I can go back and write on it if I want. I can write on the back of that little butterfly tag that's tucked in there. So there's plenty of like journaling spots for me to go back in and journal if I choose to. I mean, this is more of an art journal, so I don't really plan on handwriting journaling, but it's an idea if you do want to do, journaling in this art journal. Those are places for you to write. So I'm going to give you guys some music now, and we can relax and enjoy the rest of the video. And I'll be back if there's anything interesting to tell you, or I'll come back at the end. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. First of all, I'm really sorry for the shakiness of today's video. I posted I put the camera on one of my old stands, and the reason I don't use that stand anymore is because every time somebody touches the table, it shakes. And I don't know why I put the camera on that stand. I have no idea. So from now on, the camera will not go on that stand anymore. I mean, the shaking is unbelievable. So I'm really, really sorry. I'm going to move the camera next time. If you see this video and this is your first video watching Chaotic Mom, please don't think that all my videos are like this. They're not. As for the preachiness of the be kind to everybody, my videos are always like that. So if you don't like that, sorry, you're not going to like my videos. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, I am by no means trying to preach at anybody or pretend that I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. As a matter of fact, I have to work on myself not being so snappy to people when things don't go my way. It's a very big problem that I have. If I go to a doctor's office and, you know, they're super late, or not even when they're super late. You know what? I'm a very patient person. That's not even it. I was at the doctor's office one time, and my husband, who's hard of hearing, asked if I could go back, and they said no. Let me tell you something. I raised a little bit of conniption there, and it's because my husband's hard of hearing. He can't be in with a doctor by himself because he's not going to hear everything she says. But the point is that I need to work on me too. This is not just about, oh, you guys need to be kind. I need to be kind. I need to be patient. So again, this is not judgy. This is not preaching. This is a reminder to myself just as much as it is a reminder for everyone else. I hope you guys have a great week. I'm hoping I'm going to get more videos out this week, but if I don't, take care of yourself. Be kind to those around you. Bye-bye.